The new trailer for Cyberpunk 2077 is packed full of Easter eggs that reference movies and provide hidden details about the game's world. For example, the opening shot of the trailer shows an underground map for the city, and in the top left is a reference number that is the model number of Roy Batty, the main antagonist from the original Blade Runner.
Like tears in rain.
Later in the trailer we see some graffiti that's a bit of a nod to two things. First, obviously this scene from The Shining.
Here's Johnny!
But it also almost certainly refers to Johnny Silverhand, a famous rocker boy character from the pen and paper role-playing game that Cyberpunk 2077 is based upon. He opposed the Arasaka Corporation, who we'll come back to in a moment as they also feature heavily in the trailer. Johnny's band was called Samurai, which also seems to be written on the back of this jacket being worn by the guy who is essentially the player character for the sake of this trailer. We also see another character wearing the same jacket in another scene. So could the game's story cover the legacy of Johnny Silverhand? Also, the collar on the jacket is almost certainly based on this one pictured on the front cover of the core rulebook for the pen and paper game. So back to Arasaka. We see their logo and another company called Militech numerous times in the trailer. These are two private security and paramilitary companies in the world of Cyberpunk that are long-time rivals. In the year 2024, these two companies basically went to war with one another, and in the end, a tactical nuke was detonated in downtown Night City. I would expect these two to be major parts of the game's story, especially as we see what looks like someone being assassinated in an Arasaka meeting, and the guy who seems to be the player character using Militech branded weapons. Also on the map from the start of the trailer is a marker for the Orbital Air Space Center, and it looks like we get a glimpse of this location later in the trailer. Orbital Air was part of the game's lore back in its pen and paper days. They basically use space travel to transport people and cargo far faster than traditional flights are able to, and pretty much have a monopoly on the services they provide. However, it's not just companies that we see referenced, we also see quite a bit of gang activity, and one that stood out was this guy who seems to be stealing someone's eye. On the back of his neck is the word Valentino's, the name of one of the city's many gangs. Then a little bit later on, we can see a tabloid newspaper with a headline about the gang's activities. One other small Easter egg appears during a basketball game, which has a very specific scoreline referencing Leet speak. Finally, the trailer closes out with a hidden message from the developers, which confirms a few things about the game, including character customization, no DRM on PC, no microtransactions, and that it will receive a similar selection of free DLC and expansions that we saw with The Witcher 3. Did you notice any other details that we missed? Let me know in the comments below. As always, this is James for Curse, saying thanks for watching, and enjoy the game.